from town to town with a horse trailer dragging behind. Just a cowboy lost in a modern world. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Not a day goes by, don't think about how my life used to be. Now I'm out of my prime and I'm losing time, and nobody's calling for me. They used to call my name come roundup time. Now the four-wheelers takes my place, and the cowboy life that I've always loved is getting lost without a trace. But I won't give up and I won't give in. I'm a cowboy till I die. And I know there's got to be a place for me underneath big western sky. Headed out west, gonna do my best to leave the civilized world behind. Just me, my saddle, and an honest horse will try to go back in time, where surely there'd be a warm campfire or a bunkhouse calling my name. But tonight I'll sleep in my pickup truck, 'cause I'm still not playing their game. The world may turn, but the thing they can't change is the way I feel inside. A prairie fire may burn itself out, but you can't snuff a cowboy's pride. I'll be what I am and I'll do what I do. This life is worth fighting for. Yeah, the cowboy life is alive for me and 10,000 more. The cowboy life is alive for me.
Welcome back to True to Horsemanship. You see, we've moved out of arena, so I like to get out of that round pen, and a lot of people don't have a round pen. We finally came up with a name for quarter mare here, which is Smoking Lady, which is after two of my best horses, Smoky Joe and Lady Love. And this mare is in the wrong hands. She'd probably really be a wreck, because she does try, and a lot of people won't really see that. They'll get confused between trying and spooking, but she's like Suka a lot of ways, and Cindy, she would tell you that he tries so hard, and if you get after him when he's trying, he's going to get worked up, and that's like with her. So, like I said, today we're going to tighten that saddle down, go through the steps, tighten that saddle down on her. I did tighten it down yesterday, but that was the only time. And from the get-go, I pretty well knew how she'd react, and today she might react different. But since now I'm in a bigger area, like I did yesterday, I'm going to move her out just a little bit. I'm not going to really lunge her. I'm just going to let her know I can control her feet. And we're just going to let her calm down. And walk away from her. When I was walking backwards away from her, she followed me, because all I'm doing is pulling her towards me mentally, not so much physically. So that's, she paid attention to me real good. So before I tighten the saddle down, I got some steps. Now I want to go through. Yes, I'm going to let my line drag here. So she's got to get used to things dragging behind her and everything. Now with her, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But when I was practicing saddling her, I primarily did it on her right side because that's where she was spookiest. So I'd put the saddle on her right side, then I'd take it off on her left side. So we're going to just start out with this. Like I said, I only did it for a few minutes yesterday, so it's still going to react like she did then. So I'm just going to keep rubbing her with it. You know, I've already threw my black rope on her, and she's used to that. But I got different, you know, I changed colors of the equipment and everything else. Now, if you notice, while she's facing that way, Cindy sort of go down to the hondo, I got a metal clip on it, which makes it a little heavier and makes it easier. And what I did here, I took a ski pole and bent the end of it. So all I got to do is reach under and grab it. This is the trickiest part, and you've seen other people do this, and you know, I've sort of changed my mind about things. A lot of people do this in Liberty and let her buck it out. So I'm going to let her move off. I'm going to put some pressure. So you notice before, I don't let her get stupid. I want her to feel that contact. Like right there, I'm going to let her feel for a little bit. Then when she shows me any signs of relaxing, I'm going to release it. And that's with that heavy clip. As soon as I take pressure off of it, it drops. But I'm not going to allow her to buck. But in her case, I got a read on her from the start. Her thing's not to buck, it's going to be to bolt. At some point she might surprise me. So I'm just going to hold it there. Right there, now she's moving pretty good. I'm going to pull a little tighter. A little tighter. You notice I'm going to, not like I said, she starts cantering off, I disengage that honey. She's not allowed to do that. There's some horses, you let them run around and buck. Some of them get the idea they get to run around and buck. with the saddle. There, that's what I want. Now the problem is, like you just saw, but thank God I taught her a little bit how to get out of my space. She trusted me so much that when she got in trouble, she tried to come right up to me. If you watch her, that's where she wants to come. So I want to keep putting a little pressure on there. So, I want to be able to put pressure on there, her stand. That's why that last time, after I saw she wasn't going to buck, and she was a little worried about the rope, but not too that pressure, but not too bad. And that's the nice thing doing this in hand. Yeah, you got to be careful. Like right there, she's ready to say, hey, stand here. Because I moved her out some, let her get the feel of that pressure while she's moving out. There, good girl. That's one. Now right there I was leading her with the rope, with the belly rope. And now I'm going to tighten it down and just have her stand here. There. So let's take, you got a horse that's bucky, doing it this way. As soon as they start working, bucking, if you have to, pull that head around and not allow them to start. And some will say, well, they got to work through it at some point. Well, yes, you're right. But at the start, if you get in there and try to control it, when you do let them finally go a little bit and move out, the reaction's worse. I mean better, excuse me. Now I got my rope all twisted. Need to start from the other end. But for a day, we don't care. And, you know, a mare like her, especially, you know, I could work her one day and next day she's a little spooky, but she comes down to me quicker. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care, you know, right now how spooky she gets at the beginning. My objective is just see how quick she calms down. Good girl. At this stage, I still don't get in a hurry. My main concern is to keep her as quiet as I possibly can. Like I said, I had the saddle on her yesterday. Basically long enough to take a picture and send it to Cindy. I tried to take a video with my phone. I don't know how you people do it. Of course, Cindy can tell you I can't hardly take video with a camera. So now, I'm going to reach under her with this. I'll use that ski pole for a couple times and then I'll reach under her. I'm quite honest with you, I gotta show it, make it easy for y'all, not for me. Because I could have reached under there and grabbed that, but that's not the purpose of the videos. Now, on my front girth, I see so many people at first time, they snug it up super tight. And the horse never had it on there because they're afraid the saddle's going to slide or whatever. She's got a little bit of wither, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But if you got a round back horse, just use a breast collar. That'll help keep that saddle in place. So I just snug up my front girth. My back girth. Here we go. It's going to be a little looser because if I tighten it down, once again, that's going to encourage the Bible buck more. So but somebody say, well, she might kick out and the foot get caught in it. It's up to high enough to her belly, and you think about when if she would go to bucking, that back's got to round out. So that saddle's belly strap's going to actually get tighter. So we're not going to stand here for a second. She let out some air, so now I can see if I stand here just for a little bit, let her breathe out some, then I'm going to be able to tighten it. And even her, I got a little looser, then I get my hand between the belly and that girth. But still, I'll do that with all my horses. That's no more tight. If you cannot get your hand in there, that means you got too tight. And of course, you go, well, I can't get on the saddle and move. Well, get you a mountain block and learn how to get on the horse correctly. That's the end of it. And I don't care how heavy you are, and like somebody pointed out, yes, I've gained a little bit of weight, but so I just use a mountain block. But even I can get on from the ground without moving that saddle. So I'm just going to let her stand. And right there, that's all the movement I want for right now. Everybody asks for too much too soon. And this is the way she did it yesterday. And with the belly rope, that's how she handled it yesterday. Like I said, she's more like to run here. Now I'm going to ask her to move out a little bit, but all right, right there at first, I'm going to let her walk around a little bit. And if she wants to come down to a walk, I'm going to let her. I'll get in there and ask her for a trot. Because you think about it, this second time she's had this saddle tight on her. And This is done in real time. There won't be no editing. I didn't say anything stupid to edit out. Usually that's when I do edit it, because I say something. And Cindy gives me a look like, David? And then I think about it after I got it off my chest. But anyway, as I was going, you think about it, her second saddling, I put her in a trot. If she feels relaxed enough to come down to a walk, I'm going to let her walk. You know, some of this stuff with her is going to look awful easy. Number one is how I taught her, broke her, helped a lot. And I gotta admit, number two, you know, people say paper's only so good, but she's showing me signs of what she's bred for and bred to be. So I want to step out and start pushing her a little bit. But you notice I didn't just let her run off and ask her to move out quick. Everything step by step by step. Now, been around here, asked her to disengage. I walked to that hip a little bit. Now right there when I stop my feet, mentally is a big thing, because I'll go through it again, I'll make her move out. So I moved her out. So I flexed her, walked to that hip, disengage it, then I walk away from her. So I pull her into me. I want that her last thought when she relaxes is she came to me. I didn't go to her. If I get her to come to me like this every time, she's going to be more relaxed, because she's not thinking about spooking away. So now she moved out a little bit. Now you notice my line here, I got draped over my elbow, between that crease of my elbow. So that way if she did something stupid, all I have to do is that, and I got her. I don't have it wrapped around my hand. And even like when I'm petting her right here, see, I'm not holding it with this, and I just hold it here and I can grab it real quick. So what we're going to do, the camera's not going to take up all this, so just give me all of it, because what I'm going to do, Cindy's above her, so you'll see her. So what I'm going to do is ask her to move out. I'm not going to start right there next to Cindy, so you'll get an idea. I'm going to take a step closer. So what I'm doing, I'm getting her used to somebody above her. I'm making use of what tools I have on hand, and right now it's called Cindy. So we're just going to walk with her and let her. Yeah, I know it wasn't going to catch it. I said it wouldn't. But anyway, y'all couldn't catch it. But when she walked by Cindy for the first time, somebody above her, she just, of course that helps, got a little bit of hay in the back of the gator, but she was really nice about it. and that was on her offside. I just thought that. Good girl. She's catty. Right there is my fault. I stepped in front of that shoulder. There. You know, I get so many emails. You know, it's alright to lunge for a purpose, but don't lunge to get your horse wore down, because when I do this stuff, as soon as they're on to me, if I'm riding them, I get on them on a green horse or whatever, or I'll go to whatever I want to accomplish that day. So I use that as gauge for how soft they are. But so many people say, I can't lunge my horse. They always want to turn on me. Real easy. I'm going to move this horse out. And if I have to move my lazy butt, I'm going to stay right here. I look straight at that hip. Look at that hip. Because if I try to do it over here, I get right there, she's going to stop. Good girl. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Like I said, this is what she did yesterday. I didn't want to get, you know, 4 saddles in her and film it and just show you what I do. I wanted to film it quick enough that I'll get a true reaction out of her. Of course, y'all know all this other mess where I'll slap the stirrups. Alright, we'll start here. Hove. Yeah, I've been working on patting her, and I pat her. So I'm glad she reacted, but I've changed things up now. I've got a saddle on her, so when me patting her, y'all know who's watched this, she was weird about that part. So I'm just going to start rubbing her butt. Right there, she told me what she needed work on. When I went to pat her butt, she scooted. She never kicked out at me, but she scooted away from it. So, you know, that's the deal. I should be working on this. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I told you I'm going to take this down, and like since now I'm training her like you know, y'all would at home. So, you know, if I got other things to do that day, or got other horses more important, or got to run a hole in wall, that's what I do. So she's not getting every day. She's coming along great. I love her, but like I said, and I like the fact she's only 14 hands. I don't know about you ladies, but y'all like them big and tall. And it's like, no, not me. I want them short. So I still got my GoFundMe page up. You know, that money does just go towards her prize. that money also will be going to, down the road, I want to feed at least a couple cattle. Cindy says, what?
I know.
So, so I got to pay for their feed. Farmers don't care because I'll feed them good and they'll probably go home fatter than they came. But, so y'all will have the true satisfaction and experience and everything that y'all will be a big part of Smoking Lady. That's her new name. Did I already say that? Okay. Smoking Ladies from, like I said, when I first halter broker, first saddling, okay, second saddling, we can't call it first. And so when we get her on cows, on her reining and everything, y'all can be a part of it. Next video, I'm on the fence on how I want to do that, film it. Me personally, what I would do is either grab Brave Eagle or Little One and use them two and start ponying her a little bit and moving her body with the horse. So I get over top of her, play with the saddle and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'm trying my darndest to set this up for y'all at home. So you can do it, if you got some horse sense, and be careful and follow everything to the T. Y'all might hopefully have some success. And my big thing is not get y'all hurt. I had a young boy I was working with Friday. He's only been on a horse like 3 times. And I haven't taught anybody like this for so long. I forgot they don't know the terms, they don't know anything. So I gotta, but anyway, he said, I want to go on the trail. I said, no, you can't, I can't even, working with you, how grab the reins right now. So putting you on the trail, I said, the horse probably do good, but I'm not going to get you hurt. I said, my first responsibility is for you to keep teaching you, so down the road that you want to keep riding. If I took you out the trail right now and you get hurt, there you go, you're going to quit. You're not going to do it any longer. He smiled and said, you're right. So the funny thing about it, just a quick story, this is the rein. He was always grabbing it like this. And of course we know we grab it. So this part that goes to the bit or the boselle or whatever, the bottom part goes through the bottom part of your hand. So I worked with him 2 hours that day, and he kept doing this and doing this. And I said, listen, I'll tell you what, we'll make a deal. When you can grab that rein like that every time, consistently, then we'll start talking about seriously getting you on the trail. Well, the next 20 minutes, guess what? He was grabbing it like that. I had to give him some incentive. So you gotta...
You want to tell the learning disability story? You want to tell the story about him having a learning disability?
I was just thinking that. I was wondering. So there's more to that story. And but this way I really think and the way I approach people. He said, at some point he said, I got a learning disability, because he felt like he wasn't catching on fast. And number one, I mean, he's never really ridden a horse, and nobody's ever gave him instruction. So I looked at him, basically said, what's your point? It doesn't matter. I said, number one, you're just as darn smart as me, anybody up at the house, or anywhere. Just because you've learned different doesn't mean you're any less of a person. And he thought that was neat. And then I brought up the fact that, Albert Einstein had a learning disability. And a 16-year-old boy actually knew who he was. That's what shocked me. But, the kid's got a lot of try, and he wants to. So, you should never look down on yourself because you got a disability. I've worked with one gal, she had one arm. And I taught her, believe it or not, how to do a one-range stop on both sides with just one arm. It took a little doing, but we figured it out. So that's all it is. And like me, if I couldn't, physically climb on a horse, hell, I just teach them to lay down. I just get in the saddle and off we go. As a matter of fact, that's I used to get on Smokey quite a bit, just because it's so much easier. But anyway, so, you know, there's no one better than anybody else. I don't care if you got $1 million or $3. Everybody, we're born with the same thing. We're born with nothing. The Lord gave us this way to look at it. And I usually don't get in this stuff. And, you know, I watched a movie the other day to help me out, but that's another story. But the Lord when we came in this world, we was a clean slate. We came in this world stark naked, nothing. And from there, you know, our life experiences, you know, affects us, and yes, it does. And like me, I figured out because of what one person said the other day, I've been mad my whole life. Ever since I was little, I was mad at my family, everybody I was mad at. For no really, I was just mad. Well, there's reasons behind it, but I was just mad. And what that do? I made stupid choices because I was mad. Now, Lord, if I figured out that when I was 16, well, I would have been so much farther, you know. But anyhow, so that's my preaching today. And she's doing good. Like I said, this is, if you can get a good 20 to 30 minute, especially with mares or really reactive, whatever, you're going to get farther than if you would working for an hour. Because what's going to happen, you're going to start losing that horse. That horse's concentration is gone. I mean, that's the truth of it. Because you got to remember, no matter how old that horse is, you're dealing with a 6-year-old like personality of a person. And you know, after they turn about 4 or 5 years old, that they stay like that 6-year-old all the time, and that's what you got to work with. But she's one, like I said, she's 7 years old, in this BS where she's too old to train. That's bullcrap. You know, in the old days, way back when, they didn't bring them in to start training until they were 5 years old. But that's when we used our horses. That wasn't for the show ring. You know, they didn't. The reason I'm smiling, she's getting a little worried about that rope, and she's coming to me. She's not running away from me. So, hope y'all get something out of these series. Like I said, I appreciate your help. And just go to my David Archer and go fund me search, and they'll bring it up. Or my David Lee Archer, I can't remember. Either or. But anyway, to my kids, grandkids, and special person out there, watch State Lake, KNA, and remember, be true to the horse and they'll be true to you. Thank you.